Hi YouTube, it's Carrie, Lady VSG, here with my week 17 update. I forgot to check again. 16 or 17, I think. Anyway, today's July 5th, 2015. I had my VSG surgery April 6th, 2015, down in Tijuana, Mexico at the Obesity Control Center with Dr. Ariel Ortiz. Actually, somebody I know is down there having surgery today, so hey Nicole! Um, so I weighed in at 301.8 pounds when I booked the surgery. Day of surgery, I weighed 272. And on Monday, when I weighed in, I weighed 215.5. Yeah, 215.5. So a loss of 3.2 pounds in the past week and a total loss of 86.3 pounds overall, which I'm very excited about. In terms of what I'm eating this week, I actually started cooking myself breakfast, mostly because like 2 weeks ago I went camping and I had bought all these eggs because we do a couple group meals while we're camping. One of them's French toast for breakfast one morning. And so basically everybody ended up bringing extra eggs. So I just had all these eggs laying around. So I've been having, oh, I don't remember what they, like eggies in a basket, or some people call it like toad in the hole or whatever, but you take a slice of bread and cut out the center, and then basically you fry it, like you put butter on the bread, put it in the pan, crack an egg into the hole, and then, fry the egg in there, flip the whole thing over, cook the other side, and then eat it. So I've been doing that for breakfast. I've been making, typically I make two slices because you're like, when I cut out the cookie cutter that I use to cut out the middle of the bread, like I'm cutting out half of the piece of bread and I don't eat it, like I just throw it away because I don't need all those extra carbs. So I figure I'm getting, each thing is half a slice and I'm allowed one slice of bread for my breakfast. So it's basically, it ends up being like one slice of bread and two eggs for breakfast. So, pretty good protein, getting some carbs in there. I really like it. It still takes me a little while to eat it, and I usually can't eat everything. If I do, it takes me between an hour to an hour and a half to be able to eat both pieces. But like today, I ate until I was full. Waited a little bit longer because I was like, well, maybe I'll save it, or maybe I'll just kind of snack on it while I'm doing homework and stuff in the morning. And it was just one of those days where I finished what I wanted to eat, and then just even looking at it, I was really gross for me. I don't know why. Like, I knew it was tasty. I'd just eaten it, but I was just like, oh, I can't even deal with this, and so I just threw it away. That's still kind of a new thing for me, like the just throwing food away, because it seems inherently wasteful. I really want to get like a composter or something, because I feel like there's a better use for all this food that I'm not eating than just chucking it. Plus, there's all the ecological downsides of, throwing actual food away, and then it just ends up making these like layers in landfills and causing methane and all this stuff. So like making compost would be a better use of like all of these scraps off my table. So I need to get the ball rolling on that. But yeah, I mean, it's just like growing up and just being such a compulsive overeater. It's really weird for me to just throw food away. So, like, other than that, I haven't been really eating anything new. I bought that Veggetti weeks ago. I've still never used it, but one of my coworkers lives on a farm, and her family still like a bunch of them still have property and still do farming stuff. And she brought in these gigantic zucchini. Like the one I got, it's like this long, but it's seriously like that big around. Like I'm used to like little cucumber zucchinis. This sucker's huge. So I'm gonna, for lunch today, I think I'm gonna try out the Veggetti, and I've got, I took pasta sauce to camping too, because we do a spaghetti dinner, and so I still have jars of pasta sauce, and so I realized like that's super carby and whatnot, but I'm gonna put it on Veggetti zucchini as opposed to actual noodles, so we'll see. Maybe it'll be weird, maybe it'll be delicious, who knows. Oh, I'm really excited because today I have my first horseback riding lesson. I used to ride horses a lot when I was younger, and then we moved to Bend when I was between 7th and 8th grade, and I rode for another year. I ended up taking kind of a gnarly fall in front of my mom one time, and so she let me ride a little bit longer because she didn't want me to be, afraid of horses, which I was such a horse crazy kid, I don't think that was a risk anyway. But one of her best friends had just lost a son in a rollerblading accident, and so mom was just like, no, like this, she didn't want to deal with that anymore. So, plus it's really expensive, you know, like as a kid, I knew my mom was telling me all the time, like, this is really expensive, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, I was a kid, like I didn't, like, I understood that it was expensive, but I don't think I had a good enough grasp on, you know, like economics and money and whatever. So like having to pay for it myself, I'm like, holy shit, this is really expensive. You know, I'm still totally going to do it, but it's like, so, you know, I have friends that have memberships to kind of like a little country club kind of thing. And it's like, well, I guess this is what I'm going to do instead because I want to ride horses. So that's just going to be where my money goes. So I'm excited. Yesterday I went and got breeches and I, got boots. I had to special order the helmet that I wanted because the specific helmet that I liked that fit, they didn't have in the size big enough for my giant head. So, rather than getting another helmet that I was less, it was, I didn't like it as much. It wasn't as visually appealing to me. You know, I'm sure it was just as safe. It would have been fine. I could have gotten that one, but hopefully the barn will have helmets that I can borrow, because otherwise I'm not going to actually be able to ride today. But I'm really looking forward to it. That's going to be like 3.5 hours from now, so I'm super excited. I actually I didn't buy the knee-high boots, the traditional riding boots, because my calves are still big enough, like I can't, even the boots that have the zip up the back, I can't get them zipped up on my giant calves. And so the lady that was helping me was saying, like, well, if you really stick with it, you know, you might lose some weight. Like, I didn't tell her I'd had weight loss surgery, and I'm probably still gonna be losing weight anyway. But she's like, if you stick with it, you'll probably lose some weight. Your muscle definition will change, and you might be able to get some traditional boots later on. But, you know, if it stays the same, like, we can always just custom order some boots for you. It'll be more expensive, but, you know, like, there are solutions. So in the meantime, I got paddock boots, which are basically ankle-high boots. And then they make these things they call half chaps, which it's sort of like a leg warmer. It has a little elastic loop on the bottom, so that part like loops over the bottom of my boot. So then it's like the elastic is sort of in the arch of my foot, and then the leg warmer part comes around, and then that zips. It zips down the side. But so it gives you the visual look of wearing a knee-high tall riding boot, even though I'm not. So, which it's fascinating to me, because when I used to ride as a kid, like the paddock boots that I bought yesterday are Ariat brand. And I always wanted those when I was a kid, because they were like, the barn I used to ride at, all the really fancy kids had Ariat boots, and I didn't. I just had, you know, whatever boots my mom and I bought at the store that we went, you know, like whatever the generic knockoff boots were. So like, it was funny to me that I'm like, I'm finally buying these Ariat boots that as a child were everything that I wanted, and that my mom was like, we are not paying that much money for them. And it's still like, oh well, you know, it's still not the coolest thing I could have bought. Like, I don't have actual knee-high boots, so whatever. I thought it was a little entertaining. And then, of course, I don't know if you've noticed, I chopped off my hair again. So I was going to make the video yesterday, because yesterday is when I cut my hair, and I was like, I want to make the video after my haircut. I'm so excited. And then I got distracted shopping, and then I went over to my sister's house to hang out with her husband and her daughters. Well, my sister is down in Mexico, being the surgery companion for her friend. But, yeah, so anyway, so the video's late because I'm ridiculous and I wanted to do the video after I got my haircut. I'm really excited about my haircut. I've never had hair this short before. When I was little, I had, you know, the little bowl cut that all kids get at some point in their lives. But, yeah, so it's weird. Like, I keep petting my head, because it's just like, oh, it feels so weird to not have that much hair. And I had to learn how to, you know, she taught me how to style it, had to put texturizing whip or something. I don't know, it's thicker than mousse, but it's not as thick as like the wax that I used to do when I had short hair before, but it was short enough that I kind of spiked it out, and then it was like the A-line bob. So, you know, so that was probably the next shortest hair I've gotten. But I'm really excited about this. I told her, I brought in some pictures of Pink, and I said, you know, this is kind of the hairstyle that I want. So she showed me how to do the texturizing to bring it down in front, and then I'm probably going to look up some YouTube videos to do, because sometimes, I don't know if you know, Pink does the little pompadour thing. and I'm fascinated to see if I can figure out how to do that, because I don't know if I can get it to work well. Maybe I would go to work with that, because this will be okay. I can twirl it out of my face, and it's not going to be a problem when I'm doing dressing changes and stuff. But maybe if I could pull it back or something, it might be a little nicer. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, so not much has changed in terms of food and stuff that I'm eating this week, but I'm excited for horseback riding and my new haircut. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. Hope you guys are all doing well, and I will check in with you again next week. Bye.